All right, Senior Home Business family, how you guys doing today? We got Matt, Drew, and we have Stella from Austin, Texas, one of our newest TSL members and partners in our community. We appreciate her so much and her heart to serve seniors, and we're going to be promoting her business today and talking about why she got into the senior placement business and what we're doing in TSL. We're going to showcase a little bit behind the scenes of what TSL is. If you're a senior placement agent out there or you're a franchisee and you want to be a part of something that's disrupting the senior placement industry, Drew, it is disrupting. We've run an ad lately, just in the last few weeks, and we got a lot of likes, a lot of positive comments and all that. But, you always get one bad apple in the bunch. And so we got 3 or 4 people that are very jealous about what TSL is doing. And they're like, oh, no, you're making it sound too simple. It's not simple at all. It's complicated. And this one lady said that, and I was like, hey, I get it. I understand. It can be challenging in some areas. And then she come back and said, oh, if you think it's challenging, then you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, nah, you're probably right. I've only helped over 1,000 seniors and coached over 200 students. You're probably right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just keep doing what you're doing. You're probably successful. So anyway, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Matt, you should only be using business cards in senior placement. That's the only tool you should be allowed to use, right?
That's right. Only business cards. That's exactly what one lady said. A different lady was like, I don't know what you're possibly teaching out there. I mean, all you need is a business card. Wow. Franchises, you got to stop doing what you're doing and having people pay $85,000 up front and $3,000 per month, because all it takes, according to that one lady, is a business card. That's all it takes.
Families love business cards, as you know.
Yeah.
When they're in the deep end, they're like, thank goodness for this business card.
Oh, I know. I'm going to save this business card. I'd say I'll give you a pro tip out there if you guys want one. But I used to have a hideous, guys, when I first got started in my business, it was a hideous business card. It looked much better. And no offense to Vistaprint, because I still use them today. I think Vistaprint's great. So it's not slamming Vistaprint by no means. But the way I designed it, it looked black and just a form of a turquoise blue that looked spectacular on the screen. And then when I got it, it was not the quality of the card, but just how the colors didn't mesh. It was hard to read. And so I started my business that way. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And I'm sure a lot of those cards went in the trash. But here's the pro tip. If you want to up your game, don't go to brochures. Go to a $1 plastic business card. I should be telling you guys this, but that's the way people will hold on to those cards longer than paper cards. Plus, guys, what happened was during COVID, I didn't get this idea off the top of my head. I took my wife into eye medical, and she goes frequently. And so we're there during COVID, and the lady, we had to pay a copay. So I give her my card and she gets it. And she swipes it. She's sanitizing the card. And then she swipes it and makes sure we've got money in the bank. Everything clears. She wipes it again, gives it back to me. And I'm thinking, I wonder how many skilled nursing facilities and hospitals would feel the same way about passing out paper products to seniors during that time. So that's when I actually started the whole plastic business card. And so it's been effective. Now, I don't think that reason is effective today in 2025, but it sure helps. I mean, and so people kind of hold on to it. You ever received a plastic business card? I have in the past, and I have actually held on to some of those business cards just because they look pretty cool. I mean, it's a little different. I know you're paying a little bit more, but you're not paying as much as brochures, right? And you're not paying the paper business cards that people probably throw away. So, all right, well, let's get into it. We got Stella with us today from Austin, Texas. We want to encourage anyone in that immediate area that would need independent living, assisted living, memory care to jump on board and call Stella Williams Senior Transition Services, Austin, Texas, 737-389-2130. Give her a call. Stella, I believe that's your cell number. If it is, so that you wouldn't mind them texting you as well, right? They could text you about their needs and what their questions may be. And Stella's just a fantastic person. So we're going to get to know her a little bit. So, but Drew, I'm super excited before we get into questions with Stella about TSL and all we have to offer. And this is actually Stella's area in Austin, Texas, man. I am You guys out there could have your own area if it's still available. Because Drew, we're only doing one senior placement agent per territory, right? So if you're late to the game, late to the party, you might be left behind, and we don't want that. We want qualified individuals, kind-hearted people like Stella to work your area, and we want you to dominate your space. And so we do that to make sure that our partners are happy because they have their own territory by themselves. But also, we feel like if it was the third, fourth person coming on board, it'd be a little unfair to them, right? So we want to make sure one person gets all the benefits. But Drew, knock it out, man. Tell us a little bit about TSL out there.
Yeah, so what we can see here are about, I think it's like 91 community or 81, excuse me, communities in Stella's area. And so what Stella has done is identified these communities as good communities. She's kind of done some preliminary filtering for you. We've also pulled together pricing information about the care services and amenities provided, along with photos. And some of them have like a 3D tour. This one has a 3D tour, so you can kind of look around the
Oh man, I
community.
love that. Go
And
to
this
this
is
door.
great.
Go to this door. I love doors like that, man. Fascinating
Yeah,
front doors that are beautiful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice. This looks like a nice place. But this is great for families who are in that research phase, right? They're looking around. They don't know where to start, and they don't know what communities are out there. So this is a resource that Stella can provide those families to let them browse on their own, much like they would on like a Zillow, to shop around for and find communities they like. And then for some of the communities, they can actually call the community directly to set up a tour, or they can talk to Stella here and get her assistance as a senior placement agent to kind of help with their search and connect them with more communities.
Love it. Love it. Well, as we're displaying that, Stella, let's get into it. Just want to ask you a few questions here today to get to know you. And that's what it's all about today, getting to know Stella Williams from Austin, Texas, and TSL, and how she can help families in her immediate area. What inspired you to step into the senior placement business, and how did you first hear about TSL?
Well, my journey into senior placement, I mean, it was really a personal one. A few years ago, my own family, well, my dad, um, he was in his last few days and he was in the hospital. And I didn't know like how to find somebody to help me with, questions. And so I was like Googling things like, who do I call? How do I do this? And I would not get any answers, or probably didn't like the answers that it was giving me, or something. But, I even called hospice, because, his main goal was he wanted to come home. And, a few days later, I couldn't get an answer or anything, and he ended up passing away there at the
Mhm.
hospital. But um, the thing is I was like overwhelmed. I was confused. Anybody who I asked couldn't, I didn't figure out who would be the person to ask for help. And I wish I had somebody like, here, this is the person you need to call. Hey, you need to call this person, or, Medicare, he was a veteran, and I didn't even know what benefits he had until
Right.
like way afterwards, like maybe a year or two afterwards. I knew he had certain benefits, and I didn't even know that. So I learned a lot in the process of, helping my dad, or, um, when he was in the hospital. And then, right now I'm a caregiver for my mom, and she has dementia. She fell, I guess, a few months ago, and they put her in a skilled nursing facility. And it was one of those that didn't have anything to, I guess, like protect her. Like the bed didn't even have any rails. Like I said, she's a high fall risk, and she has dementia. She forgets to use her walker. Um, and while we were there, I was, waiting for somebody to come see her. She pressed the button to use the restroom, and like, I don't know, good 10 minutes passed.
Yeah.
Somebody came in, and they were like, "Oh, I can't help her with that. But was there anything else I can help you with?" And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
So I ended up having to take my mom to the restroom. And then when we got to the restroom, there's no bars. So I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. So I'm over here like freaking out. I can't leave her there because I know she was gonna fall again, because it took a long time for them to come in, and there was no safety in place for her. So I ended up calling her doctor, and her doctor was like, "Well, you got two options: leave her there or take her home." So I signed her out, and I took her home, and we've had like home health care for her physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. So they all come here. So, but I didn't know any of this until like they started coming to the house and figuring this stuff out. But it's stressful, it's emotional, and when you're in the mix, when everything's going on, you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. And like I said, I wish I had somebody to like guide me. Hey, you need this, you need that. And so that's the reason why I want to help seniors. I want to do this. I feel like I can help a lot of people. I've helped a lot of people already, but then as for TSL, how I heard about it, I was researching senior resources online, and I ran into one of Matt's videos, like the five mistakes people make in choosing a community.
Oh, that's a good one.
So when I was looking at it, and then I ran into a lot more videos, and I was like, wow, this guy really shares a lot of information to help people. So then I looked more into it, and I saw one for TSL. I said, oh my gosh, that's just like I don't know if I could say this, like Zillow. You can just
Yeah.
like put in what your criteria is, what they need, and then it'll pull up the communities, and it's right there. So that's how I found TSL. I saw you guys explaining it. So
Well, I tell you what, Stella, I really appreciate your story too, and it really is impactful for families that I've seen over the years in my own journey, as well as students in our community. That when they have a story like yours, families will begin to trust you a lot easier because you can identify with them very easily what they're going through because you've been through it. I mean, there's nothing like someone telling you how to go through something and they never been. Doesn't mean that can't happen, but it's something about, man, somebody's been through the fire, been through the heartaches, the pain, the tears, everything else that you've been through. You know firsthand how to help an individual, how to help a family. And I really appreciate that so much. And man, that's amazing. So glad you got onto the YouTube channel. Glad you saw the 5 mistakes that senior placement agents make. We've probably all made them, including myself. We're all human. But if we could stay away from those 5 mistakes, that'd be fantastic. And then, before we get into this next question, if you guys want to know more about TSL, more about what we're doing, you can just drop down and click the link down below and schedule a consultation call with us. We'd love to tell you all about TSL. See, first and foremost, if your territory is available. We had somebody just the other day reach out to us, Drew, and territory is just not available. And we're committed to that. I know financially it would do much better for our company if we just blanket the whole country and have as many people on there as possible, but that's not it. It's the quality of TSL and the quality of our partners, the services that they provide. It's not a quick fix, but it is like Zillow. It's like a Zillow search, you guys, as far as when you go on Zillow, you can put your location, price point, and amenities of the home. If you go on to TSL, you put location, price point, and the care needs that the loved one is very much in need of. Could be 24-hour nursing care, transportation to the doctors and back, whatever it may be. And they can click that and all the communities will populate. But get into that though, Stella, when you think about helping families find the right senior living community, what part of it excites you the most? You have a relatable story, but what part excites you the most?
I believe it's when a family finds the right place. Because I know it can't just be the building, the location of it's closer, to them, but it's not the room either. It's about the place. Like it makes them feel at home. They're safe. They're happy, and they're well cared for. I think that's the main thing that gets me excited. Because it turns like a complex and stressful search into a confident decision, and hopefully a new beginning for their loved one in this community. Because that's you want them safe. So just finding the right fit.
Yeah. And Drew, you've done a lot of move-ins, so I know you would concur with that. What's your take on that, as far as what excites you the most about this business?
Yeah, it's you can have so much impact on a person's life. I know a lot of placement agents who got received in the mail handwritten thank you cards for someone they helped 7 years ago, a family member they helped 7 years ago. I don't know any other industry that gets that kind of love.
Right.
And so when you're able to help them make this, it's a traumatic time. Like Stella said, you're totally lost because there's just a lack of information. You don't know who to talk to, and if you can be that resource to those families in that time of need, you can impact them, in a very meaningful way. That something they'll be grateful for the rest of their lives.
No doubt. And I tell you what, we all are kind of just talking about this right now. But what a thing I love about this industry is that it is a no cost, no obligation type service for seniors and their families. I've said this many times on this channel. We've got almost 800 videos. So I'm glad, Stella, you found one of them out there, but on our channel. But if I was in this industry and I had to charge a senior money, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I'm more of an advocate for seniors and a senior placement agent. And I realize seniors have to pay for things, but I wouldn't go up to them and be charging them $1,000 or 500 or whatever it may be to help place them. But Stella, with you, what joy does that bring to you, knowing that you're offering a free service for families?
I mean, it feels incredible. I mean, because the last thing a family needs is another bill just to get help. So, that the fact that my services are completely free and, with no obligation allows me to build a trust and focus entirely on, that family's needs. I can be their advocate, truly be their advocate, knowing that, that my only priority is helping them find the best possible solution for their family, and in not pressuring them into a decision, because I'm just giving them, information, they make the decision, but it's all free.
Absolutely. Man, it's all free. I tell you, it's free for the community to a certain extent when they pay a referral fee, I guess, but it's free for families. It's free for skilled nursing facilities. The whole business model I just love because it just brings a lot of joy to your heart when you're helping a family. And in this industry, you will get some pro bono work, in terms of families that cannot afford, whether it be assisted living, work independent, wherever they're going. And I don't mind doing that. Actually, I'm a lot more intentional about that in my business. I do a lot of move-ins, but I want to remind myself why I'm in the business. And that's why I'm in the business, to help people. It's not to make a paycheck, but if you're out there and you want to expand your business, expand your senior placement business, or you're an entrepreneur and you want to get in the game and you don't want to just do 1 or 2 move-ins per month, you want to do 5, 10, you want to have that $500,000 not business, this is the way to go. And you need to find out about TSL. It's incredible. It's something that just got started within the last 6 months, and we've been on a tear. We're getting closer to 30 partners throughout the country. We're looking to have 100 partners by the end of the year. It is not just a tear like as far as getting people signed up, but we got quality individuals. Drew, you want to pull up that our partner list? I'd like to see that because I really, these individuals, including Stella, and that's who we're highlighting today, we've got a lot of quality individuals that are out there, and we just love and appreciate all of them. So you can just scroll down here and look at the partners that we've got. You can be part of that if your area is available, if it's, something that, is going to be beneficial to you. So if you're going to be part of this group, just let us know. We would love to have you. But Stella, let's get into what skills or life experiences, which you touched on the life experience part of it just a few minutes ago, but you think will help you succeed as a TSL partner? Do you think it's your family story that's going to help you? Is there certain skills that you have now that you're developing that you can help families too? Talk about those areas.
Yeah, so I do believe my background from my own family experiences, and then the strong network that I've been building, and then all the connections I've made so far, like with Medicare, Veterans Affairs. I've made a lot of connections already to help seniors. I do help them in my neighborhood right now too. So just giving resources or being that person with the resources to share with the seniors, I think, that would be my communication skills. Um, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I like what you're saying about the resources because I mean, it's obvious without a doubt, and because we know you, but even on the screen, if we didn't know you, what really comes forth from you is that you have a caring heart. You have a heart as big as Texas. You live in Texas, so you should have a heart as big as Texas, but you do for people, for seniors. But beyond a heart, because there's a lot of people that have heart, but they have no resources. They don't have the skill set. Like we said earlier, it's more than just a business card. It's having resources. You talked about veterans benefits earlier, not knowing some of these things. Now you do, and you're able to help people. And Drew, how important is that for, to combine that skill set with TSL and to move a person forward and help them expand their business?
Yeah, 100%. And I think essentially what TSL allows Stella to do is, not every family wants to find senior living through, long phone calls and verbal descriptions, talking to a placement agent. Some do. But as Stella knows, some don't. Some like to do their own research beforehand and kind of consume information in this kind of Zillow-like way. And so now Stella can take all of her expertise in the communities and the care needs that are served by different communities, price points, and all that, put it into a package that those families can consume, and let those families make direct connections with the facility while she still gets credit for all the work that she did putting that information together. She still gets the referral credit, while at the same time letting families consume information in the way that they want to consume it.
Oh, I love it. And Stella, let's get into another one. Looking ahead, I mean, let's talk about vision. I mean, if you are out there and you're kind of questioning yourself whether you want to start as an entrepreneur or you don't feel like you have the money, I'm just reminded of a saying. I'm trying to remember who in the world said this, but it's so impactful. It's like, you don't have a money problem, you have a vision problem. Somebody understands that quote out there and know who said that, let me know. But it's so true. I used to think there was a money issue, a money problem in my own life, where the reason I couldn't start something, right? So whether it be with TSL, senior placement, getting in to become an entrepreneur, but it's not a money problem. It's a vision problem. When you've got a vision, it's going to move you forward. It's going to compel you to get out and take action. And that's what Stella's doing right now. But looking ahead, Stella, what do you hope to accomplish in your first year with TSL? Because Stella just started with TSL not long ago. I mean, but both for yourself and the families you're helping.
So my goal, is to become the most trusted senior placement agent or expert in my area. Just building a strong reputation, build on integrity and, compassion. And for the families I serve, I hope to help a significant number of seniors transition into a community where they can thrive. And then, my ultimate goal is to remove the stress from the placement process so that families can spend, less time worrying about that and more time cherishing the time left with their loved one. Because, there's a lot of like time spent looking and searching, and then so I want to be that person to help eliminate all that stress. So that's my goal is.
Absolutely, man. Eliminate the stress. And, it's so easy for people to go online and search and not have a local senior placement agent. And so with TSL, you get the combination of both, right? Drew, is so beautiful is because, some of the flack we got from some of the ads is that they were like, okay, we got boots on the ground, it's just us. You got to fully understand the process. And I get their frustration because they're thinking about some national companies that are just, they'll get your private information and disseminate that to 30 communities. And all these communities will just flood your phone with calls, one call after the other. It's a telemarketing game. But TSL is such a balance, right? It's not only can you look at all the communities and do a legitimate search on yourself, because we know the data, 48% of the people are searching for themselves from start to finish. So if you just are boots on the ground out there as a senior placement agent and you're not utilizing TSL, you're missing 48% of your market share. You're just not going to get those people because they're not calling you. They're not calling me. And I've said this before. I know the irony because I'm a senior placement agent, but Drew and Stella, I would not use any one of you or myself or anyone if I was looking for my mom or dad, if I was not a senior placement agent, because that's the personality type. My real estate appraisal days back in my 20s would come flooding back. I would just go out and get 3 communities and just do a comparison kind of deal, a CMA and all that kind of stuff. And with TSL, there's such a balance because I get on the site. If it's my personality type, I can call the community directly and still get paid for it. But if I'm the other 52% of the people and I get on there and I'm a little bit apprehensive in calling the community, I'm a little reluctant, not sure what to ask, what to say, I can call Stella, I can call Drew, I can call different partners in my area and say, man, I love what you have here. Can you help me out a little bit? So Drew, speak to that a little bit of the balance between the two.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned 48% of families search online. That's today. Think about what it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now. Think about how people shop for real estate now. I mean, everyone, my grandmother uses Zillow and she's in her 80s.
Ooh, go grandma. That's awesome.
So that's how people now want to consume more information. But what's cool about TSL is that the minute you want to talk to someone, raise your hand, ask for help, you can contact Stella or wherever you're searching, the local senior placement agent who has that local knowledge, who can talk to you over the phone, help you make sense of your situation, help recommend communities, book tours for you. Like it's really, you can choose your own service level. If you want to DIY it and do your own research, connect with communities, you're welcome to do that, or you can raise your hand and a senior placement agent will be there to help.
I think of like technology and it's usually like, okay, the younger crowd, but I have a story. This happened several years back. My wife and I were at a skilled nursing facility helping this couple. And it was an older couple. They were in their low 90s, 92, 93 in that range. The gentleman was in the room, so we couldn't talk to him directly, but the wife was out in the hallway in her wheelchair and her family were around and we were just talking to him. And I'll never forget this. This lady leaned over to me and she goes, "Sonny, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, absolutely." And I'm thinking, I don't know what it's going to be, but something about the communities and different things that she can participate in. She goes, "I just got one question. Does this place have Wi-Fi?" And I was like, it caught me completely off guard. I was not anticipating that question. But so I know technology and this whole search with TSL and senior living communities can be perceived as just a younger crowd. But I'm telling you, there's going to be some older people that are out there that will say, you know what, I want to do some of that research myself. And I see it too for people that are not just quite ready. They don't perceive themselves to be ready and they just want to do a search without being inundated with a bunch of phone calls. And they just want to get on there, go online and look for themselves and do that search and finding out what the right community is. And then in their area, let's say Texas, they can do all that. And if they got questions, they've got a perfect person in the industry in their area that knows the business. They can reach out to Stella and say, "Hey, I got a few questions. Can you help me out?" And Stella's there to receive the phone call or text, guys. That is her cell number. So I would most certainly use that and let her know that you appreciate her, what she's doing. And you also have a need. If you know somebody, let her know as well. So Stella, give us a little bit about, at the end, just kind of wrap this up a little bit, just to pump us up about who you are. You've already told us all your story and things, but I just want to give you the last words. I really appreciate your heart in this industry.
I don't even know what to say on that one.
Nothing like catching me off guard, right?
I mean, I'm here to serve. Like I said, I help a lot of seniors in my area already. So I am ready to help you. Just text me. Let me know what you need. I mean, from anything, Medicare, long-term care. I mean, I have a whole big network. I mean, Veteran Affairs, if you need aides and attendants, I mean, I got that person too. I mean, he helps with benefits with veterans that you don't know you have. So surviving spouse. So, just let me know what you need and text me and I will definitely answer. So.
Awesome. Well, Stella, thank you so much for being with us today. It's usually just Drew and myself talking about TSL, but on occasion, we like to have our partners with us as well, just to kind of, put a little personal touch, let people know who they are. And it's nothing like getting you on video, Stella. I appreciate you doing this because sometimes it can be a challenge to get on screen and just begin to talk. And you're looking into a camera going, okay, I don't know who's listening and what they think of me, but I'm just going to begin talking. But it just really helps the audience to really kind of get a good picture of who you are and just what comes across as a person with a big heart, person that knows her stuff, person that's got resources, can help families, has helped families, been through a personal experience herself. And so we really appreciate you. So Drew, thanks a lot, my brother. I appreciate you as well. And audience, till next time, God bless.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank y'all.